Well, good midday, good midday, good midday. Started out a little icy, started out a little crazy, but it's still a good day. Grateful to God for each and every one of you. It's going to get a little bit better. It's going to rain probably the rest of the week, and then boom, some colder weather has to show back up. Kathy, I'm drinking my water. I'm trying to do much better. I'm trying not to be as busy so that I can do what I need to do. So we're grateful to God. And how are you coming along? We're praying that everybody is doing well, that is participating in this time of fasting. I'm going to get on a little bit later tonight, hopefully, if I don't pass out and go to sleep, share a couple of things with you, and we'll be ready to roll. I believe this is day 14 or 13. Let me look here and see. I can't remember which day it is. Linda, Jemison, Carletta, Minister Sarah, good midday to you. Thank y'all so much for being here and being a part of this moment, this learning experience that is going on right now. And we're just thankful to God for each and every one of you. So is this day 13 or 14? This must be day 14. Oh my goodness. No, this is day 14. Oh, oh well, I'll figure it out after a while. Yeah, today is day 14. I don't even have it posted. Mm, mm. So we're all good. I'll get something out there in a little. Day 14. Thank you so much. Uh, Sheila, Tamika, bless you for being here. Thank you so much for being a part of this. And as you well know, Carolyn, Minister Faye, that little button, that little button that says share, whether you're on Facebook or whether you're on YouTube, just go ahead and share, and let's see what God does. See how God blesses, whether it is in person right now or whether it is in the afternoon. Don, bless you for being here. Thank you for being a part of that. And you have to excuse me. I will be clearing my throat and different stuff like that. Um, I've contracted a virus, not COVID, not flu. It is what it is. And they're not giving me antibiotics because they want to make sure my creatinine numbers stay low. I want to make sure that it had the last time when I had the antibiotics, it affected that number, and I have to make sure that my kidneys function properly. So that's just the way it is. Okay. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. Elder James, thank you for being here. Lady Bowling, bless you. Cora, how are you? You staying out of trouble, Chaplain Hearns? Thank you. Good midday to each and every one of you. Doe, how's it going down in Midland? How's the weather down there? And so we want to be able to share something with you. I want to share that so you can understand where we're at and what this word is saying. That this is probably one of the most powerful words because again we're dealing with the issue of how do you deal with the silence of God? What do you do when God doesn't say anything? How do you handle those moments? Mary Green, how you doing in the natty? Okay, good midday to you, Sandra. Okay, and so you know it is what it is. Catherine Harris, bless you. Valerie, how are you? Pamela, thank you so much. Lori, thank you so much for being here with us during this midday. Lavonda, thank you. Wendy, bless your sweet potato soul for being a part of this moment of sharing. In about a minute, I'm going to go ahead. Gina, bless you. I gotta clear my throat. Gotta clear my throat. Um, my doctor was amazing yesterday, and so I'm just grateful to God for what He does and all them folk. Especially as you get a little older, you got to take care of yourself, and that's the bottom line. Thank you, Jeff, as well. We appreciate what they do. Okay. So, okay, I'm gonna, I'm gonna check. I'm gonna check with her and find out. We were looking at something yesterday, and I had to leave because I'm trying in 2024. I'm trying to stay within the confines of the time allotted for the snapshot, and we were looking at Job. And I mean, think about this for just a moment. How frustrating does life get when you know you've been talking to the Lord and the Lord has been talking to you? Every saint, Lisa, bless you. Every saint, I don't care. I don't care how much Bible you read. I don't care how much you shout, run, and dance. Every saint goes through dry spells. They go through those moments and they're intentional. Oh, we don't like that. Stephanie, bless you for being here. They're intentional. They're not accidental. They're intentional. God has a purpose behind everything that he does in our life. Hey, Denise, how are you? Everything he does in our life is orchestrated for our good. Even Charles Ramsavelle, how are you? Praying for your family. We got you covered. Okay, love you too. It has a purpose. The thing that many of us don't see, and this is the beautiful thing about the book of Job, is it gives us an opportunity to look at the back shot or the background or the back activities that are not seen in humanness, but are understood in the spiritual realm. And so you got to remember, I talked about this yesterday. Job was minding his own business. He wasn't bothering anybody. He was doing what he should do according to that which he knew to do. God had blessed him tremendously. And if you remember, I said when Job started going through those different trials and lost everything he had, lost his family, lost his wealth, and then eventually Minister Sarah lost his health. Then his friends showed up because the enemy is good at bringing reinforcements to reinforce the negativity or the issue that you are going through. Elder Clay, how are you? Rhonda, LMA, dear, thank you for being here. And he's good at that. He's good at sending things your way that will distract you, will get you off course, will have you thinking that God doesn't care anything about you. And when you look at the 23rd, Timothy, thank you for being here. When you look at the 23rd chapter of Job, Giovanni, how you feeling? Thank you for being here. There is something powerful that is found there, because the one thing that can work against us in making us believe that God is really not concerned about us is time. Because when we read the book of Job and we read all of that, we think things are like happening instantaneously, but it's not like that at all. Erica Forney, thank you for being here. There's a period of time that has gone by, and everything was pretty cool when the word came back about what had happened to his family. And you also have to remember that even in the midst of a tragic moment, God always leaves somebody to witness, to share, and to let it be known that some tragedy has happened. But what hurts us most is when the very people that we have been friends with, we have been treated, we have loved, we have nurtured, all of a sudden decide you done did something you ain't had no business doing. Elder Pamela Mansell, thank you for being here. You have sinned, and his friends were adamant about that. You've sinned. You there's no way that a man who is walking with God as you claim to be and as we perceived according to the wealth that you had. Okay. Rosabelle, thank you so much for being here, dear. We appreciate you. Think about that, because during that particular time, according to limited understanding of God, it was noted that anyone that was in right standing with God would have all of this wealth and all of these children and all of this. Everything is now gone, even to the point that his wife said, I ain't never seen nothing like this. In the condition that you are in, I can't handle it anymore. Why don't you cuss God and die? And Job says, now hold on just a second. Should we just receive good of the Lord and not evil, not realizing that evil can linger for a while? Evil can take its time. And this is where Job has now become frustrated. Here's why. Because now when he talks to God, now when he communicates with God, God is silent. How do you deal? How do you deal with the silence of God? How do you deal with all of those years of being in communication with God? You and God have been talking and all of this, and then all of a sudden the door shuts. You don't sense his presence. You don't sense his power. You're noticing that he's not providing provisions according to the limited understanding of where you are. And so when you get to Job 23, Job is borderline losing his faith. Sister Rains, thank you so much for being here with us. I appreciate it. Love you much. Job is at the point where he cannot take any more. And so he begins to tell the Lord, today my complaint is bitter and my hand is listless because of my groanings. Oh, Misty, how are you? Oh, if I just knew where you were. Because here's what I want to do. I want to sit down and have a conversation with you. And the reason I want to sit down and have a conversation with you is because you're acting like I don't exist. I have gone through decades of walking with you. I have had all of this time when I've been with you, and now all of a sudden you have cut me off. All of a sudden you're not talking to me. All of a sudden you're not reassuring me. All of a sudden you're not providing for me what I need. You know, I can handle it if it were just for a short period of time, but the clock keeps on ticking and time keeps on going, and my friends keep staring at me, and now the community is wondering what's going on. Nobody wants to be bothered with me because I stink. The stench from the issues that I'm dealing with physically. Nobody wants to even share with me or do anything for me now because I'm in a horrible condition. And at least, if I could find you, Hakeem, I could share with you, because I believe you don't love me no more. I believe that I'm on the borderline of believing that you don't even care about me anymore. Out of all that you have demonstrated to me, out of all that you have blessed me with, out of all that you have provided for me with, and then now I'm in a dry spell. Now I haven't been here before. If you remember, there was somebody else that went through that as well. His name is Jesus. You remember when Jesus was on the cross and when the sins of mankind were imputed upon him and it caused that separation. And he said, my God, why have you forsaken me? It's in those moments when you have been accustomed to consistent communication with God 24/7 in an unbroken way, that when it appears that those things have been broken, that's when we lose our mind. And he is now at the point, I hope y'all ready for this. He is now at the point of the mocking question that Satan placed before God. Okay? Y'all don't believe me? Job chapter 1, verse 9. Job chapter, I want you to see this. I want you to see this. I want you to see this because this is powerful. So Satan answered, this is after verse 8. So Satan answered the Lord and said, does not Job fear God for nothing? Look at what Satan says. He says, and it actually in the Hebrew, it says, does Job fear God for God? Rose, bless you for being here. Now, what is Satan saying? What is the inference? Because first of all, we already know he's a liar. What is the inference that Satan is trying to say? Satan is actually saying to God, is Job in awe of you because of you, or is he in awe of you because of what you've provided? My question to you is, you're standing with God. Is it because he's God, or because he's helped you pay bills, or he's helped you to come through things, or he's been there for you, he's provided? Are you mesmerized by God because he's God? Or are you mesmerized over the fact that he just keeps on blessing and he keeps on doing this and he keeps on doing that? And so Satan is actually saying to God, listen, Job don't love you for you. He loves you for what you provide. And I'm just wondering if some of the saints, when you're going through your trial, when you're going through your trauma, when you're going through those moments of isolation, when you're going through those moments when it appears as though you are by yourself, is it because you miss him? Or is it because you miss the stuff? If you were broke, could you still love him? If you were homeless, could you still love him? If you lost everything you had, could you still love him? Y'all not catching this. Y'all not catching it. See, I love him because he gave me a good job. I got good income. I got good retirement. I can go to the mall. I can buy what I want to. I can do whatever I want to do, and everything is fine. But what happens when incomes are limited? What happens when unexpected things come up? Even for myself, some unexpected things came up that I've got to take care of. Wendy, it is a deep question, because the truth of the matter is, if God were to pose that question to us, how would we answer it? Oh, no, Lord, you know I love you. You sounded like Peter now. When Jesus said to Peter, Peter, do you love me? Peter said, man, look here, you know I love you. He said, then feed my sheep. Jesus comes back again and says, now, Peter, do you really love me? He says, now, look here. Now, you know I love you. He said, well, then feed my lambs. And then Jesus comes back and says the third time, do you love me? And Peter goes, man, look here. I'm about tired of you asking me all these questions. You know I love you. And so he says, well, then feed my sheep. See, when you love God, stuff and things are not attached to that love. Woo! Jesus, Lord have mercy. That love is attached to the fact that I love him because he loves me. Even when I'm not lovable, even when I'm not kind, even when I'm not generous, even when I'm stingy, even when I'm self-centered, even when I'm self-consumed. Can I keep going? Even when I don't think about nobody but myself. I am no longer my brother's keeper. I am no longer concerned about anybody else but me, myself, and I. My verbiage is always about me. I don't care nothing about nobody else, because nobody else matters to me, because I'm my own whatever I want to be. And so the question becomes, do you really love me? And then Job gets a little caught up. Okay. Herma, bless you for being here. Job gets a little caught up because then he says, where are you? I need you to answer my questions because you've abandoned me. It's one thing, I grew up in a day and time that it was not so much what you asked, but how you asked it. I could ask for something, but the ask had to be in the appropriate manner. Some of our young people don't understand that, because they don't understand consequences to brash verbiage, because for the most part, that's kind of a part of how they talk. But in my day, if I wanted something from my parents, there was a certain way that I would, that's it, politely ask. Dad, do you mind? Mom, do you mind? Nowadays, kids, well, I'm going. See that, see, that didn't work in my day. And so Job would have been all right if his moments of anxiety had not caused his flesh to rise up. Think of, can I talk to you for just a moment? Have you ever had a time in your life where your frustration caused your flesh to act foolish? Have there ever been a time that you could have gotten a little bit further if you would have seasoned your verbiage with grace? I got to go. When we come back tomorrow, I'm going to deal with the encounter that took place, because I believe that this is overwhelmingly important for us to recognize and to understand and to comprehend that when we go through those moments when it appears that God is silent, it appears that God has withdrawn himself, it appears that God is not concerned about you, you have to remember that there's a whole lot more going on behind the scenes of your life than what you can actually see in your life. Man, I love y'all with the love of Jesus Christ. Please stay safe. Please take care of yourself. Please do what you need to do, because I'm reading up on something and I don't like it, but I can't do nothing about it. And so that's right. Wash your hands, sanitize, wear your mask where appropriate. Do what you need to do. So not only can you stay safe, but you can also stay alive. I will see y'all tomorrow. Same time, same station. May God bless you. May he keep you, is our prayer.